Warriors, I am tremendously grateful that you can join me for this video. Today, I want to discuss a specific framework, a structure on how your day should go in order for you to get the most out of the day and to get the most out of yourself towards anxiety recovery and self-mastery. So, people have been asking me questions. Dennis, can you give it to me in practical terms? Like, tell me what's the best thing to do in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and when I'm challenged and such. So that's where I really want to go today. I want to provide you with this structure. Now, to set you up for success, it's important to understand that you shouldn't implement everything that I'm about to discuss, because you're going to be highly overwhelmed. You're going to go, oh my goodness, I got to do all these 3 things. And when I didn't do that one thing, then my whole day is ruined. And Dennis told me I need to. No, it's not like that at all. Please identify the things on this list that you believe you need to focus on the most, because every story is different. Every anxiety sufferer has a different kind of past. They have a different kind of vision for the future and are implementing different things in their life in the present moment. So it's really, really important that you don't feel overwhelmed by what I'm about to tell you. Now, what I'm about to express to you and share with you is based on creating congruency between the 3 planes of existence: the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. When you're walking these planes and you've got balance between all these different planes, you are living your life congruently. You are in alignment towards who you want to become. And you wouldn't be watching this video, listening to me, if you didn't want to become more than what you are today. So, let's get into the framework. You wake up in the morning, you stretch out, you realize it's the morning, and you check your symptoms. I'm just kidding. No, you don't do that. You wake up in the morning, and this is what I call the setup period. In the setup period, an important focus must first be on your mindset. Now, when I'm talking about mindset, I'm talking about specific visualization exercises that communicate with the subconscious mind. This video right here is one of those particular skill sets. So you want to wake up and you want to be able to communicate with your subconscious and say, I want to go in this direction. I want my life to go this way. I want to plant this seed. So the mindset is very, very important, and the subconscious understands visual imagery as well as emotions. So we need to emphasize a specific exercise in the morning upon waking, because this really is the time where your brain is the most open to suggestion, the most neuroplastic within the first 30 minutes of waking. So what mindset you have for the day and for your future in the morning will dictate where you go. So the first thing is mindset. Second thing is anticipations. When you wake up in the morning, what you don't want to do is go, oh, today's going to be full of rainbows and unicorns, and it's going to be a beautiful day with no problems whatsoever. That, my friends, is not what we call life. In life, you're going to be presented with different internal challenges as far as feelings, sensations, symptoms, reflexive thinking, all these ideas running through your head. And what we want to do is we want to anticipate what sort of challenges are going to arise in the day. So at 1 p.m., I've got this meeting going on, right? There's a lot of people there, and I feel highly sensitized when I'm around people. Perfect. You have anticipated a particular challenge that will arise around that time. Around 3 p.m., I start to feel like I'm wearing down. I feel a little bit tired, and that's when my sensations start to arise. If you can anticipate the challenges to come, you will be prepared. Which brings me to the third part of the morning, which comes down to your skill sets. Now that we know the challenges, what skill sets are you going to bring with you throughout the day in order to counter those particular challenges? Mental counters in your thinking, behavioral counters. You want to create some parasympathetic activation throughout the day where you start to emphasize your rest and digest system and you're not just go, 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 go. So in the third part of this, it comes down to the skill sets that you're going to bring with you throughout the day. Now let's go over the morning. Starts with the mindset. You want to prepare yourself with the proper mindset for the day and your future. Number 2 is anticipations. What sort of things, challenges are going to arise internally and externally today? Thirdly, it's the skill sets. Which skill sets do I have in my arsenal, or what do I need to gain in order to do a good job of countering those challenges? Then we get into the day, during the day. I call this being in the moment. Now, you're at work, whatever it may be, most of us working. In the moment means thinking. When you're going through the day, you're going to be going through a ton of different ideas. In fact, it's been proven that you have more than 70,000 thoughts throughout the day. Now, your future is based on which thoughts you entertain the most, that become emotion, that then communicate with the universe. If this is the case, we have to have a specific counter as you're going through the day, a resolve. We have to come up with something that says, I'm moving in the right direction. So I want to emphasize the thinking portion of the in the moment as you're going through the day, which comes down to 2 things, and I've talked about one of these in one of my videos. What else could this mean? As you're going through the day, a challenge arises. This is the thinking portion. You're going to go, what else could this mean? My emotions tell me that this is a threat, and I've been here before, and I feel highly sensitized, but what else could this mean? If I feel like I'm mind reading someone's mind, right, when in fact anxiety sufferers are very bad mind readers, or I'm fortune telling, catastrophizing what's going to happen next, no. What else could this mean? And secondly, you want to ask yourself, what's fun about this? I'm at work, Dennis, there's nothing fun about this. If you had to choose something that was fun about what you're currently doing, what would that be? So those are 2 very important mental, cognitive skill sets that you want to bring with you throughout the day. The second part or component as you're going through the day is the verbal. When we're talking about the verbal and you're in the moment, you're going through the day, you want to ask yourself, how would my future empowered self respond to this particular person? Because verbal communication is still energy. So whatever you project to somebody else, you are in fact pulling back into your own balance and homeostasis within. So it's very important to ask yourself, how would my future self communicate in this moment? What sort of verbal words must I use right now with this person? So that is in the moment. And then finally, it comes down to your actions as you're going through the day. And again, we ask ourselves the question of, what would my future empowered, mastered self do? I know what my sensitized self would do. I'd probably go Google some symptoms. I'd probably run to the doctor. I'd probably get really pissed off at this guy. I'd probably leave this environment. I know what that guy would do. I know what that woman would do, that identity. But what I want to think about right now in this moment is, what would my mastered, self-empowered person do? Condition that in. That action. Which brings us to the evening, meaning keep the momentum going. You started the morning off really well. You brought your skill sets in the afternoon. You've been verbalizing, communicating, you've been acting in all sorts of different ways, and all of a sudden it's the evening. Do not move towards your past memories and go, oh, I had panic attacks way back when. That might happen again. Ooh, you don't want to question yourself as you're going into the evening. You want to make sure that you take control of your focus and say that I need to continue my momentum now, which comes down to parasympathetic exercises, either guided or unguided meditations. There are so many different forms of meditation out there. I would really nail down the most basic ones if I were you starting on this journey. I would focus on my breathing patterns. Anytime my focus would leave, I'd bring it right back to my breathing. I'd make sure that I've got good depth in my breathing. Anytime my mind wanders as to what's going to happen tomorrow or what happened earlier this morning, I would bring it back to my breathing. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you emphasize that the evening is for momentum and further inner peace, moving you in the direction that you deserve. The second thing you want to make sure you do in the evening is a journal. You want to recap the day. You don't want to forget, consciously and unconsciously, forget about all the progress that you made on that day. You want to remind yourself. You want to continue that momentum. So I would say journal over the things that you're proud of from the day. Keep it very, very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Dennis, how does my journal have to go? Just write down what you're proud of. What thoughts you were able to counter, what words you were able to express to someone, what actions you were able to take that you normally don't take. So journaling is very, very key. Finally, in the evening, we want to make sure that we have a very restful and deep sleep. We want to make sure that we get that REM sleep that nurtures us, that balances us, and we wake up in the morning with full willpower points ready to go, which means visualization for deep sleep. Very, very key component. Basically, utilizing your imagination to send signals to your subconscious as to how you want the next 8, 9, 10 hours to go. So warriors, I want to emphasize something. Your future is dependent on how you structure your day to day. Each and every one of us as children went through tons and tons of sabotage, external sabotage. We were ingrained with certain programs installed into us saying, you can't do that, you can only do this. You're not worthy of love. You don't deserve this. You're going to live your life in lack, and all these different programs. I want to emphasize the idea that it is possible to move away from those programs and move towards something new. But in order for that to happen, there's got to be some systems and some structures in place. So I want to suggest that you take control of the next 21 days to 3 months and begin moving yourself in the direction that you deserve, because you are more than anxiety. I love you so much. I believe in you 110%. If you have any further questions on the End the Anxiety program, head on over here. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for all the notifications here. Bye, my friends.